Now to the second installment in our special series we're calling The Real 24, One Day in the Life. Each Monday this month, we are visiting the people whose daily lives come up against the major issues facing the country. And with the economy and the Michigan primary making headlines these days, we sent Chris Bury to Dearborn Truck, Ford Motor Company's most modern assembly plant, where workers are doing more than just building today's vehicles. They're trying to build a future for their troubled industry.
The first shift arrives in the chilly darkness at the very complex where Henry Ford built his once mighty empire. At exactly 6 a.m., the lines start rolling. They begin making the best-selling vehicles in America, Ford F-Series pickup trucks.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Rob Weber runs this plant like a coach. He's on the sidelines before 7. A car guy all his life, Weber calls himself a motorhead.
You seem to have the car business in your blood.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Bringing it all together and seeing the finished product and going out that door is absolutely phenomenal. I just love the assembly of these vehicles.
That assembly, an elaborate choreography of 17 separate production lines. By sunrise, Dearborn Truck has already made about 100 model F-150s.
Over 1,000 a day we build here.
And you produce one truck
every minute.
A lot of trucks.
Exciting, isn't it?
But Weber and his team are under pressure. Last year, Ford lost its perch as the #2 car maker in the country to Toyota.
Does it hurt a little bit that Toyota overtook Ford last year?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It hurts a lot.
Line supervisor Tracy Prayer understands brutal competition. She had to move here in June after Ford shut down the Norfolk, Virginia plant where she'd worked for 13 years.
They closed our plant down, unfortunately. Woo. Sorry. And
that was tough for you.
Very, very, very tough. Very tough. It's a very tough transition for all of us.
Over on chassis line 4, Kevin Dace tells us even the brisk pace here is not what it was a few years ago. His theory?
I say gas prices. Gas prices slow things down a lot.
Everyone here knows only the money-making factories survive.
Good morning.
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 But in the morning management meeting, they are revved up about the new model just going into production.
And it's pretty exciting to see us introduce it to the population.
It's 11 o'clock and a bit of genuine history is being made here. That truck body is the very first 2009 model F-150 to roll down the assembly line. The first redesign of the model in about 5 years, a truck critical to Ford's future.
So, after a lunch break, 30 minutes is the union rule, Dearborn workers get training on the new model that Ford is banking on.
If we make it, Ford will make it. If we don't make it, it could be problems.
Finding problems is Mark Peters' only job. The 35-year veteran pulls finished trucks at random and drives them 30 miles over rough road.
You drive it like a regular guy?
Yep. Down the road, lane changes, turns, curves.
Then he gives everything a tryout.
We've always had the same standards in place for quality, but now we're following like a religion.
A religion whose daily rituals include the tear down.
We're going to rip that sucker apart.
A truck torture chamber that tests hundreds of welds. Such ferocious focus has lately earned Ford better quality ratings, but Toyota is breathing down their necks, and the public sees a quality gap.
You're seeing great improvements. We are closing that gap, and I think that's what the consumer is finally starting to see.
4:30 p.m., quitting time after the first 10-hour shift. Nearly 1,000 auto workers passed through, not far from the bridge where 70 years ago union organizers died battling company cops.
We still have our differences, but both sides realize that if we don't work together, that this company is not going to exist.
And for workers like Marilyn Jasso, who supports a house full of kids and grandkids, those union wages, $28 an hour, pay for a middle-class life.
As you see, I have a handful, and it's only 2 and another one on the way. And I want them to have a good education, and Ford is going to let me be able to provide that for them in the future, God willing.
But now she's sharing the night shift with more and more workers who never get sick or demand more pay. And Marilyn knows she's in no position to complain.
You do this all night long?
All night long.
And do you ever get tired?
No.
So, as the second shift grinds away in the middle of the night, Dearborn Truck Assembly turns out another 500 of the most popular models on the planet. But the pressure is on.
Toyota can watch out because we're coming back, and we're going to take it.
4:30 a.m. Marilyn Jasso finally gets off work, and soon the cycle that Henry Ford started begins turning again. Chris Bury, ABC News, Dearborn, Michigan.
The assembly line, also the front line in the issue of jobs. Next week in our series, The Real 24, we'll spend a full day with troops on the front lines in Iraq and with their families on the home front. One